this would happen, I refused. I was like, dude, I'm not wearing fucking makeup.
Yeah.
And I remember I called my dad, who lives in Missouri. He was like, Dad, they wouldn't make me wear makeup. And I thought my dad would be like, oh, fuck no. And he's like, why don't you? You look shiny. I'm like, really?
Are you serious?
You're cool with it, Dad? All right, if Dad's cool with it, I'm cool with it.
On this week's episode, we're celebrating the American Dream's 6th anniversary. Join us as we hear the founding members of the American Dream tell a story years in the making. Let's start the show.
We do it in the spirit of going against the grain of the negative media, giving inspiring information, and having people walk away from our show with something of value.
You're seeing a disruption in both the real estate and the mortgage space.
A lot of people are just not willing to put in the work.
What video does is that it demands an emotional response.
You know what I love about the show? It's totally unscripted.
Our show is both national and local, and I'm proud of the fact that we're here to share stories that both inform and inspire our viewers for the better. Our first segment is brought to you by a professional in your city. Let's hear from them now.
It's your realtor, Roscoe Ford. I'm here at Harvest Green. Let's go meet with Haley Peck and Tammy McCall and find out why Harvest Green is one of the top-selling communities in the nation. Hey, Haley, how are you?
Roscoe, welcome.
Great to see you.
Good to see you.
So, wow, this is the Darling model here in Harvest Green.
Yes, this is a Darling Homes model. It's one of the 12 models that we have out here.
Wow. So how many builders are in this community?
11 builders.
Okay, fantastic.
We have lots of little retail centers with restaurants and nail salons and dry cleaners and dentists, the typical that you would see in front of a community. But one of our most exciting additions is Messina Hoff Winery, which is coming to Harvest Green.
Oh my goodness,
yes.
really?
Yeah. They break ground this August 2019 and will be open spring to summer 2020.
That's fantastic.
So we're trying to bring in some really, really cool commercial aspects to the community to match just how cool this community is.
Okay, so here within Harvest Green, Messina Hoff plans on having their winery here. Are they going to actually grow grapes within the farm community here?
Yeah, so a part of our 12-acre village farm is a small vineyard right here in front of the model homes.
Okay.
And Messina Hoff is going to take over that vineyard and grow their own grapes there, which they will use in a special Harvest Green wine blend. But putting the farm aside for a second, I want to show you my favorite feature of this particular model, and that's this ensuite area. Mother-in-law suite is what they call it. Yeah, isn't this cool?
This is absolutely amazing. Hold on, there's a whole nother kitchen here.
There's a whole little kitchenette. They have their own little living room. We have the bedroom. It's almost like an apartment connected to the house. So if you have a mother-in-law or extended family that are staying or even living with you, they can have their own little area to do their own thing and not
amazing.
be interrupting in the house. They actually have their own entrance as well. Oh, and here's Tammy McCall. She works with me at Johnson Development. She is our realtor relations extraordinaire.
How are you guys?
Fantastic.
I'm just here baking some cookies. I just put them in the oven.
Well, tell us more about Johnson Development. How many active communities do you guys have now in the Houston area?
We have 14 in the Houston area, so we have 17 overall.
Wow.
We've been around for 40 plus years. So pretty amazing.
Yes.
I'm the Realtor Relations Extraordinaire for Johnson Development, and what that means is Johnson Development finds the importance of having a realtor so high that they've hired me to do this position full time.
So you guys have actually here in Harvest Green an actual farm.
Yes.
So where you can grow your own vegetables.
And farmers that are here every single day working the farm. And what's really cool is I got to come this weekend and see the farmers market.
Okay, so what we're gonna do now is let's go take a look at the farm.
Okay, sounds good. All right.
Harvest Green is completely unique to the Houston area. We are the first community centered around a working farm.
Right.
The village farm is 12 acres, and right now we are in the farm club sector, which is where our residents can choose to have their own plot on the farm where they grow their own produce. If they want a little bit less intimidating of an option, they can also choose to have a pre-built garden ready in their home when they move in, so they can, you know, grow herbs and other things in their backyard on a much smaller scale. And then we also have a few other options for them to interact with the farm, just like any other amenity out here. We have our farmers market every Saturday, so they can just come out and buy produce that was grown on the farm, but they know that it was grown right here in their own backyard, essentially. Or they can become a member of our CSA, which means they get the produce delivered to their doorstep every week. What's being grown on the farm, what's local, what's organic.
Gotcha. So agriculture is a huge part of my life. Having a farm myself, raising cattle and having an actual vegetable garden at my ranch. It's great to see how Harvest Green encompasses that here within the master plan community.
The American Dream is about bringing you inspirational real estate, lifestyle, and success stories. This week, we explore the history and vision that brought us this far. But first, we have one more story from your neighborhood. Let's check it out.
Hey, Tricia Turner here. I am at 32802 Woodford Court. This property is located in the newer section of Weston Lakes, not the section that's got the manned gate that you drive 15 minutes to get to. This is the new one right off Bowser Road. Absolutely beautiful custom home. Come check it out. Check out this house, you guys. Number one, you're not going to see another house like this. One of my absolute favorite things in the interior of this house is a huge wall of windows, plenty of open space, but look at this kitchen. Check this out. This is amazing. Lots of gray cabinets. That's the custom color, of course. Everybody loves the gray interiors. Of course, farmhouse sink. Got to have one of those. Come on out to the backyard. This is an amazing backyard space. Come check it out. One of my very favorite things about this house is the outdoor space. So you've got an outdoor fireplace here, custom outdoor kitchen, leads you down this path into this huge yard, plenty of space for a pool, and of course an outdoor home. Little seating area there. Now we're gonna head over to Anthony's, which is just 5 minutes away. So see you there. Thank you for letting me come in today and interview you.
Yeah.
First of all, I want to tell everybody about what this is. I don't understand this. Tell everybody. It says the White House on it.
This is the White House, so I'm real proud of this.
Okay.
A good friend of mine, Rick Figueroa.
Okay.
He works for the White House.
So this is really from the White House?
From the White House.
Very cool. Notice that it says Anthony Decker, Executive Chef, the White House. That is so awesome.
Yes.
So tell everybody what we're going to be making today and a little bit about Anthony's.
So today we're going to do a really number one dish. It's going to be a grilled shrimp on a bed of grits.
Okay.
And then we're going to top it up with bacon bourbon marmalade. Nowadays, if you buy a home, most houses, they don't have a formal dining room anymore. People live in the kitchen. That's where the family hangs out 90% of the time.
Yeah.
So I figured, you know what? I'm going to just build my own living room.
Yes.
With my own kitchen.
I love it.
And everybody's welcome. I think the shrimp is almost there.
Yeah, let's check it out.
A little longer and flip it one more time.
Oh my gosh, this is so good.
It's pretty good, huh?
It is amazing. Okay, so tell everybody a little bit about the nightlife here.
The nightlife is actually really good out here. Believe it or not, one rule we have is that no matter what time you walk in, we're never going to turn you around. Even if it's closing time, you know, you walk in here at 11 o'clock or 11:15, we still make you a drink. We're still going to get you a meal. It's not like, hey, hurry up, get out.
Right.
We never turn somebody around with an empty stomach.
Okay.
Because they will never forget.
No.
And you don't want that.
No. So tell everybody, because they're going to want to know about any future plans for expansion here.
Well, yeah,
Anthony's is a busy place.
Yeah, the expansion, I do not want to expand it too big, but we have on the books later this year, we want to draw a bigger bar, and then hopefully by the middle of next year, we're thinking about expanding the bar.
Love it.
Yes, possibly adding on some more restrooms and some other things maybe.
Yeah. Definitely.
Maybe another restaurant
Oh, love that.
in Simonton.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
So you guys got to stay tuned for that. Anthony is great. Y'all should come out here. If you haven't been here, you're missing it. Definitely get here.
See y'all soon.
Thanks
Thanks for
you.
coming to Simonton, Texas.
The American Dream Show is a vision that began 6 years ago as a need to create positive media in a landscape that relies on negativity to grab attention. It exists to educate, entertain, and to share inspiring stories from around the country of businesses and entrepreneurs doing their best to lead meaningful lives and carve out a lasting legacy for the better. I'm your host, Jenn Morris, and I welcome you to join us as we hear the founding members of the American Dream tell a story years in the making.
Let's get to shit 2 times.
Craig.
Seth.
Bro.
Broseph. 2. Yeah.
Is that what we do now?
You just gotta get better.
This is what we do now?
Craig Sewing, creator of the American Dream. Look, when we set out to start this mission, it was about combating negative media. What ultimately happened is it became an entrepreneurial journey where we started to create some of our own dreams. And me specifically, took this thing all across the country. The American Dream is not a destination, it's a journey. And in this entrepreneurial spirit, in our second city of Denver, I met what ultimately would become my version of the American Dream, meeting who's gonna be my wife today, Brandy Sowers.
What has happened for me in my own experience of the name of the company and the name of the show is that American Dream has become something that means something on its own.
Yeah.
Like there's the American Dream and then there's the American Dream the show, and the American Dream the show to me almost has felt more inclusive than what my traditional concept of what American Dream is.
Yeah, what the show has evolved to is sharing the real stories from real people and real communities all across the country in a time when the media is so divisive and negative. We are inspiring and uplifting, and it's through sharing those real stories.
There's 400 people now that take part in the American Dream. There's millions of people that see it every single Sunday. What's crazy is the story of the American Dream is actually your story.
It started with a radio show. The show's growing, and we're really proud of that. It's your show, not ours. But what you might not know is behind it all is me as an entrepreneur.
You know, a lot of us are waiting for that big aha moment that changes our life. But now that I'm inside of the company, I see it's a lot of little aha moments.
One of the most pivotal moments came from a very scary failure, and it came from the network. So we came in and we had this show and we built this show without their support. We, in our own bubble, were doing well. And I thought they were gonna offer us a daily show. So I'm going in there, I'm like, all right, prime time, this thing's gonna blow up. You know, you're always waiting for like that moment of like, you made it, now boom. So we go up, I have this meeting and they're like, next week we're unplugging the show. Well, we're not unplugging your show, we're unplugging the entire network. But we like you. My goal is to educate, empower, and engage. You know, it's like anything in life. You can turn lemons into lemonade. That's Julie Sewing, my mom, would always say that. So I said to these big network guys, well, can we still use your studio? There's a great opportunity for us to take those failures and turn them into bigger wins. And I think that's a message that should apply to anybody who's got that entrepreneurial spirit. Don't let fear of failure paralyze you. When you learn that your failures can be your biggest lessons and stepping stones, then you can replace that fear with faith, and then the world is yours.
Most people see obstacles, and he really does see opportunities. That is a unique characteristic to Craig.
Everybody he's come in contact with, they're all great people. And because knowing Craig, like, he makes everybody around him better. And I can see why he's achieved the American Dream.
Ooh, wow. Hey. I think I took one look at you and I go, this is a guy I can drink a beer with. And I think there was a kind of an immediate friendship. I think absolutely, at least on my side, there was a fascination with you because you came into California, which is a very intimidating state to come in and try to be a big entrepreneur, and you were completely fearless. When you started the American Dream, several things. One, I didn't see the vision, straight up. Number two, I didn't think I had the confidence to get in front of a camera and represent myself. And it wasn't until other people joined the show that I said, no, wait, they can't be on that show without me being on that show. So to me, change has always intimidated me. But to you, that's like a surfer in a wave. Like, you want the change because what the change does is give you the ability to pull ahead of all the competitors.
Yeah.
And it's just a radically different way to think about what makes most people nervous.
The greatest sailor is going to win in the roughest waters.
Exactly.
Right? And so, I don't know, I think if you have enough experiences in your life where you did have a major failure and it still worked out, you start to have a little bit more confidence when those things occur because the change is happening for everybody.
Yep.
Right? So as long as you're on the leading edge of certain things, you get to dictate what it's going to mean to you. We had talked forever about partnering, and we probably had 100 different ideas, and, napkins and happy hours.
I was going to say a lot of IPAs were drank.
Everything changed. The look of the show, the concept of the show. That next day, it was like, boom, gone.
Shine like a star, 'cause you know that you are. Free mind, every kind. I just came to have a good time. Now everybody.
Why there's emotion, I think, that we've been able to achieve in the last year of the show is because we took the show out into the field. We weren't telling realtors to talk about their communities in a certain way. We weren't editing what they were saying. We weren't giving them scripts. We were going, here's a camera. Tell us what's really happening. I thought, God, I could get involved in this company and not only build a company with my friend, we could do something that we could do well by, but also do good by. Like, we could actually change the media landscape for the positive.
And you called it being radically authentic.
Hi, Summer. Thank you for the invite.
You wanted to shift this thing out of studio.
Yep.
Our piece, but also all the realtors all across the country are doing these 2-box interviews. How are you going to do this? And dude, you did it. Like, you just did it. And I still don't know how we did it. We're here now. And it was because you knew the collective public, right? Like what they're thinking, how they're consuming information.
Yeah.
And you change it. And that's where I think the show went from here to there.
I always wonder, like, what is the moment when this company cannot be caught, right? You know, you watch like two cars competing.
Yeah.
Usually like the old classic car takes a while to rev up, but then you just can't catch it. Doesn't matter how fast that Porsche goes, it's too far ahead. And that was the moment where I was like, you can't catch up with this company because we just became peer-to-peer.
Relationships are your key ingredient. With anything in business, whether it's media or anything else, we had built equity in real relationships. A few contacts, a few phone calls. They partnered with us to create the studio, Ignite Media. Now I'm this executive show producer to the CEO of a media company. We're commercial free. We're not a slave to anybody on content. We blaze our own trail. And that's where we built the media company. That's where we really brought the show in. And then everything flourished from there. When I walk around Ignite Media, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, I'm so damn proud, and I'm proud of it. I'm like proud of the life it's become, the thing that it does. I mean, you can walk through there, and there's the social media team.
Yeah.
There's the account managers. There's the editors. There's the producers. And this whole thing is gelling, and it's growing, and it's like,
yep.
I could be cut out of this equation now,
yep.
and this will not stop.
What I love is, you know, I walk into the editing room and there's 11 of some of the brightest young minds in editing and a lot of people who are incredibly experienced as well, that are veterans. And I can sit and watch people taking footage from all over the country, all over America, and crafting stories around these young entrepreneurs.
This thing now is its own living, breathing thing.
Yeah.
The people that put this together, everybody's fingerprints are all over it. That's what I'm most proud of, and that's what makes me so confident that we're just at the beginning.
Living the American dream, man. That's it. Doing it right now. Work hard, play hard, strive for the best, be part of the best, work with friends, create great relationships, man. That's it. Love it.
For me, the American dream is visualizing something that you want so bad and actually going after it and getting it no matter what it takes.
One of the things that attracts me to the American dream is that it's not just a company, it's a concept. And I think one of the things that American Dream TV is so good at is capturing the diversity of what the American dream means all over America. And that is something I'm so proud to be a part of.
Part of the American dream is dreaming big. On today's episode, we're going to visit Anguilla, a little island off of the South Coast. You know, in all of this mission and all the things we've talked about here today about making the American dream come to life for everybody all across the country and millions of followers and all that stuff, we gotta remind people this is really fun for us too. There's struggles and there's trials and tribulations, but like when Richard Steinberg out of New York City, who sold A-Rod and J-Lo their home, says at the end of this call, he goes, hey, I sell for the Four Seasons in Anguilla, and I want to fly you guys down there, and we're going to stay in the Four Seasons, and it's going to be incredible, and let's do a show down there. And I'm the CEO of the company. I'm leading the phone call, and I'm like, yeah, and we talked through and all this. By the end of it, you remember this call? I go, can I say something really stupid? What is Anguilla?
Break it down. It's an imperial world, but I'll tell you now, I can be your girl.
Yeah, I don't know whose idea it was.
Someone said it offhand, and then it became very serious. A couple cocktails in, we were like, no, we're doing this.
We were getting a private jet. So what do we do in the airport? In the airport where we have missed our flight. I'm not trying to act like I'm a baller. I remember he and I were like, we gotta look cool in front of our girls. I'm like, napkin, like how much will you put in there?
how much will you
I'm like, dude, I'm calling my MasterCard. I'm like, how much room do I got on this thing? And I'll never forget being on this flight. My fiance will be my wife by the time I think this comes out, with you and Jesse. And I remember being on this private jet.
Listen to Cardi B.
And to the right, you had a sunset over Miami. And to the left, you had this full moon. And I don't care what that costs. Like that is a price. I get goosebumps just talking about it. It was a priceless moment of like all the blood, sweat, and tears. And this, we're experiencing this moment right now.
Well, I come from Kansas City, Missouri, and my dad's been in business for 43 years. And for me, the American dream is building off what he's been doing for the last 43 years.
Being someone from a small town in Olympia, Washington, being down here in Southern California trying to make a name for myself, to me, that is an opportunity you wouldn't see in other countries. And I think you can see it here in America. And I think that's the reason that I'm so proud to be American.
First generation Filipino American. My parents came over from the Philippines and they made a lot of sacrifices for me even just to be around and do things. So it's always been in my soul and my purpose to make sure that I get to a place that makes them proud.
You may kiss your bride.
People ask all the time, is the American dream dead? And I got to ask them the question, are you dead? Because the moment we stop dreaming is the moment we are dead. As a country, there's a reason that millions of people went into it, not out of it. Now, whether your goal is to start a business, start a charity, or start a family, like I'm going to be doing here today, the American dream is subjective. You get to define it, you get to chase it, and it's a never-ending process, and that's what makes it such an amazing thing. And through our show, this is the story that we want to share all across the country of real stories, making real impact on real people's lives.
Found you here, 'cause nothing is better than you and I together. I just wanna stay until the morning sun. Lay here forever, you and I together. I just wanna stay until the morning sun. I just wanna stay until the morning sun. I just wanna stay until the morning sun.
When we're talking about the American dream, we are living what the overall story is. I mean, if you boil it all the way down to the core of what this thing is, all of us internally as teammates, I never use employees, I never use that word, as teammates, partners, and all of our own individual stories, personally and professionally, like it's created this tapestry, this fabric where you have a purpose. I feel like we have this purpose and this great story, and it's been cool sharing it.
You now have so much personal interest and so much love in the company. I'm officiating your wedding, and I'm your partner in CMO. You know, my best man at my wedding is our director of revenue and retention. So what's so cool is like that's a glue that just can't be unstuck.
A hug?
Yeah.
All right, I gotta go.
We're grateful for everyone that helped grow our show into an outstanding source of knowledge and inspiration, and for the opportunity to share these stories with viewers around the country. We're happy to have shared our journey with you, and we've hoped that you've enjoyed it too. Thank you for watching.